What's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be discussing reduce and the usage of reduce. So reduce is in the same vein as map, lambda, filter, but it is slightly different. All right, so first thing we'll do is we'll just create a list, 13579, that's our regular list. Now, one key difference is that you have to actually import reduce from functools as opposed to map, lambda, and filter. And now we're going to try to break down what reduce does. Reduce does is it will use a function that takes two elements. So the function requires at least two elements, and to apply the function to an iterable. So same thing like map and filter. Now the key difference is it's slightly recursive. I guess that would be the right word, because it takes the value from the previous function and it applies it to the next round in the iteration. All right, so let me try to explain that a little better. So the first thing it'll do during the first round of iteration, it'll take x and y, and in this case, it needs two values. So what it'll do is it'll grab the two values, 1 and 3, which are the first two elements of the num list. So this is the first round of iteration, and it'll grab these two and it'll apply the function, which in our case is a plus. Applying the function, we get back a value of 4. Now in the next round, instead of grabbing the next two value, it actually grabs the value from the previous iteration of applying the function. So the previous iteration was 4, so it grabs the 4, and then it will grab 5, which is the next value from the iteration, which is 5. And we'll get back 9. And then we'll take 9, which is the previous value, and add it to the next value, which is 7. And it does that until it gets the last value, 9. And then we get a final value of 25. So essentially, it's sort of a rolling sum or a cumulative sum. It takes the value from the previous application of function and it will continue add, and it'll sort of roll up that way. So if we run this, we should get the same answer, which is 25. So reduce is named reduce because it takes a list and it reduces it to one value. As far as I know, that's why it's called reduce. All right. Now another cool thing is reduce could be used with multiple arguments. And this might be a little confusing, but hopefully I can explain it well. So this is the keyword that we need to pay a little attention to. Initializer equals none. So essentially, if the initializer is none, the first value is going to be considered the first value of the list. However, if we apply initializer, then we'll apply the initializer that value. Then value will be set to the initializer, and that will be the first element. So in this case, we did not use any initializers. When we first ran reduce, we actually grabbed the first two elements because the initializer was none. If we add an initializer, we use the initializer as the first element, and then we'll iterate through 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 instead of using 1 and 3 in the first round. So one more time, 1 and 3 are used if the initializer is none within the first round, but if we have initializer, the initializer plus the first element will be used in the first round. So hopefully that's not too confusing. Okay, so this is basically the source code, I guess, of reduce function. So if the initializer is none, we'll grab the first value. However, if the initializer is available, we'll set that to value. We'll do sort of the cumulative sum. Okay, so here is one more example using initial value. So 25. So let me I could just copy this and show you guys what it does. All right. So in this case, instead of starting off with this, what's going to happen is we'll start off with the initial value, 5, and we'll grab the first element, which is 1. So this will be 6. Now we use 6, and the second element is 3. So 6 plus 3 equals 9. 9 plus 5 equals 14. 14 plus 7, 21. Okay. And we have 21 plus 9, which is 30. So that's essentially what initializer does. It initializes the first element with the initializer. All right, so if we run this, we should be getting 30, and that's exactly it. All right, so that's basically the gist of reduce. Here's a cool example I found in Stack Overflow. We import operator. Operator.add is just the plus symbol. So it's just calling the function. So when you have something like 3 plus 5, this plus is called by this operator.add. So you can actually call the plus using this operator.add as a function. All right, so essentially what this is going to do is if you have a list of lists, you can use reduce and operator.add to actually flatten the list. So 1, 3, 4, 2, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's essentially just applying the plus operator within multiple lists. So if you look at these two lists, if I run this, it actually just flattens it out, the plus. So that's essentially what it's doing, the area of multiple lists. But since you're using reduce, it's taking the output of the previous function and then apply the new nested list to the output of the previous iteration. All right, so that's it with reduce. Hopefully that was not too confusing. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.